Hello again, Phillipsburg. I've wanted to send you a message for some time, but I don't think I have to remind anyone how much has been going on, not just in our community, but across the state and our country. One of the things I hear people saying more and more is, I can't wait for New Year's. 2020 has to end. Well, I really can't disagree with that. We've seen more upheaval and disappointment in the past 2 or 3 months than most people can recall in recent memory. The rise of COVID-19 cases and COVID-related health concerns in November has forced a measured drawback from in-person instruction at Phillipsburg, until just this week when Dr. Troxell had to make the difficult decision to pivot back to all remote instruction until January. Please believe me when I tell you that this was a very difficult decision. As educators and as parents, we know in our hearts that kids belong in school. It is a better environment to learn, and the best environment for their social and emotional health. And to be honest, the teachers and principals need it too. So with this in mind, please take the advice of any health professional you may see on the news or social media. Stay distanced, mask up, and until this alarming spike in positive cases subsides, please consider not going out if you don't really have to, and definitely avoid social gatherings. Otherwise, this uncomfortable situation we're in right now will last even longer. Now, just a few days ago, both Phillipsburg and Easton school districts had to have a very, very difficult discussion with one another about whether having this year's Thanksgiving football game was the wisest choice, or even a possibility. It did not take too long, though, for us all to agree, unanimously, that putting the safety and well-being of our students and community before this game, no matter how storied or anticipated it might be, was the right and responsible thing to do. And I realized that this was a very polarizing decision. Even if everyone involved in the conversation agreed to have the game, that decision would have split the community. That is what difficult situations and decisions do. But please know that we were guided completely by our thoughts of the students and adults involved. And knowing that this would have ripple effects on the students and even some adults, I sent a message to my staff yesterday, and I'd like to share a little bit of that with you. Regardless of how anyone feels about the football game between the two towns, whether you're born here, or have never missed a game, and your closet is mostly garnet, or whether you're relatively new to the area, or even if you simply have no interest in the sport or the rivalry, it is very important to bear in mind that this is not the case with the vast majority of the two communities. Every local media outlet and every social media platform since 3:30 on Wednesday covered it. And people formed opinions about how and why we made this decision. And people have diverging opinions about whether it was the right thing to do or not. There's no doubt that for Phillipsburg and Easton families, this weekend will be difficult. And Thanksgiving will be, to say the very least, different, especially for the players and students. Tradition is tradition, no matter what the event. And when something like this is taken away due to Wednesday's cancellation, it leaves a crater in the hearts and minds of everybody involved. What I'm saying is that you don't have to understand or agree with the rivalry to respect the strong feeling of tradition the two towns share. And our students identify with this completely. Some students will be just fine. Some will struggle, especially the nearly 300 who participate in the game as players, the band, the cheerleaders, and our fantastic student fan section. But what we cannot have as a school community or a town community is people pitted against one another over a decision that was made to keep young people out of harm's way. Parents, we know that our children do not have the benefit of experience to provide perspective and understanding, and our kids will look to us for guidance. We do not want students lashing out at one another, casting blame, or reverting to hurtful name-calling. This accomplishes nothing except to inflict pain. This is one of those very valuable, teachable moments, so I urge us all to come together as teachers, parents, and guardians to be understanding, aware, and look for an opportunity to have a larger conversation about this time of year, resilience, perspective, and the ability to set sights on other things that are just as important in life. I'm sending this out before Thanksgiving, a week before Thanksgiving, but maybe this weekend and in the coming months, They could be a time to really focus and give thanks for everything we do have. It could brighten an otherwise dark day. I wish you and your families a beautiful weekend and a peaceful Thanksgiving. Go Liners!